Tap the coin 3 times, it disappears. 1, 2. Oh, it's the pen that goes, never mind. In magic, perception is everything. What we magicians play on is this idea that people have been perceiving things all of their lives. And because they've been perceiving things all of their lives, they expect an event to happen when a process begins. If I take a coin and I place it in this hand, people don't expect it to disappear. What I'm working on is this idea that you have spent a lifetime of putting things in your hand. So you know that when you turn your hand over, whatever is in your hand falls out. And I use that against you, basically. It's very, see now, finally you've caught on. But this time, we magicians figured out centuries ago that people can only really pay attention to one thing at a time.
There is too much information around us. Surprisingly, our brains are not taking in everything around us at all. They're actually only attending to a small portion of the visual field. This is why it's really easy for magicians to misdirect us and mislead us with their illusions, because actually our brains are so unreliable, to be honest.
If I were to draw an arrow facing up on this side of the board, okay, and if I were to do the same on the other side, we would have what you expect, which is 2 arrows facing up. Yeah. But if I turn this one face down, the weird thing is that this one is still face up. There's a difference between looking at something and paying attention to something. If I were to look at something that I look at every morning, I really don't bother focusing on it. Instead of seeing it, I almost just remember it, because my brain doesn't want to bother seeing it over and over again. And this one doesn't go face down until I turn it face down, and then both of them are face down. Your brain just decides, well, I'll just know what's going to happen. The reason why all this works is because if I turn this one sideways, then this one still stays face up. And I'm just going to put this down because it's screwing with my head.
Our brain is set up to look for patterns. We're looking for patterns, we're looking for meaning all the time. You can see this with some visual illusions. You get these rather ambiguous pictures, and then after a minute or two, you can see the image inside them. But it's actually the same in life. In life, we face all manner of situations, and perhaps actually it isn't too clear what's the right course of action. But we look at it and we make a decision after a while. We impose some kind of meaning. We decide this is the way forward. And once we've done that once, we're actually more likely to do that again. So we begin to build these mindsets. So IBM did mainframe computers. That's what it did. It had been doing that for a long time. It was late to the party, catching up with PCs. There are many, many times that organisations get caught up in that way. They're caught up in the way they've been doing things before, and they're not paying enough attention externally. So they don't sort of change with the market.
If your organisation can't adapt that quickly, then actually you're going to lose out. I mean, there's some great UK examples, like I'll pick on Blockbuster and Jessops to name a couple. And it's really easy to sort of poke fun at them and say, yeah, aren't you stupid? You know, you didn't see all this stuff coming. And I don't think these companies were stupid at all. Jessops and Block, they've been around a long time, they made a lot of money, they provide great services to their customers. For me, it's more about their agility, their ability to respond to the change in market. And they weren't able to do that for whatever reason. And I think, you know, we should be learning a lesson from those organisations, which is about how do we make sure that we can be agile in what we